Very good morning to all. In this lecture, I'm going to present about the subject Cloud Infrastructure Services, and the code is TCS 761. And let me introduce about myself. I'm Dr. Sachin Sharma, Associate Dean, International Affairs, Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Graphic Era deemed to be University, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. Start what topics we are going to cover in Unit 1. In Unit 1, we are going to discuss about Introduction to Cloud Infrastructure. We are going to cover cloud evolution, cloud services, cloud deployment types, main challenges of cloud infrastructure, cloud reference model, cloud management, cloud structure, infrastructure components, cloud layers, cloud relations, cloud dynamics, and data type. We start with cloud evolution. The fundamental of cloud computing was introduced in 1980s in form of cluster computing. What is cluster computing? When a task is assigned to multiple computers or two or more than two computers, and where computer perform the task simultaneously and gives the output. That is called cluster computing. So It was started in 1980. After a decade, grid computing was introduced, where a multiple system they perform a single task and gives the output. After a decade, in 2000, utility computing was introduced. Utility computing was dependent on the problem. So the any computation with the help of cluster computing and grid computing, when it is solved based on the user's problem, that is called utility computing. But just after 5 years, in 2005, cloud computing services model was introduced. Many of you must be knowing these types: IaaS, infrastructure as a service; PaaS, platform as a service; SaaS, software as a service. Then after 2007, many services, deployment models, you must be knowing the types of cloud computing. Those are public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud was introduced. And after 2007, the growth of cloud computing was exponential. Now every application that you use on the smartphone, on your Android phone, on your Apple phone, on your Windows phone, 99% of those applications are deployed on cloud. So that was the evolution of the cloud computing techniques. It is also bifurcated into three basic phases. And what are those three phases? The first one is idea phase. In this phase, it was incepted in 1960s with the emergence of utility and grid computing, and that is lasted till pre-internet bubble era. And Joseph Carl Robnet Licklider was the founder of cloud computing. And the second phase was the pre-cloud phase. And the pre-cloud phase originated in 1999 and extended to 2006. In this phase, the internet as the mechanism to provide the application as a service. So in idea phase, the concept was introduced of the cloud computing. The later, that phase is shifted to provide the application as a service. Then later, the cloud phase, people started talking about the services such as IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So it was started in 2007, and that was the breakthrough. The cloud phase, when it was launched in 2007, it increased the utilization of web or computer organization. Now we will see the evolution of cloud computing in social application and enterprise application form. In 1980s, the mainframe was designed for the cloud computing, and that was on premises and self operated. In 1990s, the concept of cloud computing was the same. It was on premises and self operated, but they started the client server model. Then after a decade, in 2000, web based concept was introduced for cloud computing, and they started hosting and management on web. After a decade, in 2010, in cloud computing, they started the connected cloud concept and integration hybrid cloud, that was the type of cloud, and infrastructure as a service was started. In now 2020, the cloud services, especially in platform as a service, where the software as a service environment, they started focusing on platform as a service, which is directly linked with what user want, and that is called utility based services. So cloud is basically depend upon the demand of the user. So in 2020, it is completely focused on utility. What type of utility of the user is there? Based on it, the cloud services develop the service and integrate the services with the existing one, and if it is required, they develop and deploy based on the utility of the customers. In social application terms, in 1990s, they started social relationship. After a decade, they started working on social functionality. So you see, in a decade, they completely shifted on the functionality. Here we are talking about the utilization of social application on cloud computing. First, they understood that what customer needs are. Then, based on that needs, in 2000, they moved to social functionality. After a decade, in 2010, they started working on the social colonization and context, and where you see the many of social media application deployed. And the cloud computing service providers, they started working on the context. In 2020, they moved to social commerce that we use nowadays. Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Alibaba. Well, Alibaba is a Chinese product, and now we really don't prefer to use Alibaba application, but that's a part of social application. Next, enterprise application. So in 1980s, the enterprise applications was working on the back room, and that was on premises. In 1990s, desktop was there. So again, it was on premises and self-operated, but in 2000, the automation process came that changed the environment of cloud computing, and in 2010 the enterprise integration started. So enterprises started taking the interest in cloud computing, and that was the reason why jobs in cloud computing increased, and why we are studying cloud computing, and that's why this cloud computing technology got the boom. In 2020, the data integration started. Every existing web application, every existing system, they want to deploy cloud services, and for that enterprise application they want data integration, and that was the evolution of cloud computing. Pretty interesting. Now we will discuss the history of the cloud. Mr. John McCarthy introduced mainframe time sharing in 1960s. ARPANET by JCR Licklider introduced it. In 1970s, virtualization software was launched. In 1997, cloud computing that was defined by Professor Ramnath Chalapa. Between 1970 and 97, there was World Wide Web was launched in 1991, and that was the history, that was the support for the cloud computing. In 1999, Salesforce was introduced. In 2006, Amazon launched different services based on cloud computing. Elastic Compute Cloud, we also call it EC2. S3 services, that is called Simple Storage Services. And in 2012, 78 billion worldwide public cloud service market was found, and that was the growth rate of 18.5%, and that increased up to 20% in 2014. That was 103.8 billion, that was estimated global cloud spending. Now that increase rate went up to more than 80%, where most of the enterprises, they would like to move into the cloud services. They would like to deploy, they would like to integrate their own application using the cloud services, because the cost is very less and there's a lot of advantage of using cloud services. And that was the history of cloud computing. Now we'll talk about the cloud services. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Platform as a service, PaaS. And software as a service, SaaS. We also call it IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. To start with, infrastructure as a service. And what is it? It provides the infrastructure that many cloud service provider need to manage software as a service tools, but don't want to maintain themselves. So what does it mean? It means the services provider, they are providing the infrastructure, the backend support to the service application. So the application that you want to deploy on your smartphone, that is basically managed by the IaaS service provider. The data that you save on your application, that save on the data servers, data centers of the IaaS service providers. It serves as complete data center framework, eliminate the need for resource intensive on-site installation. So for example, when a startup or if you as a user want to develop an application, you don't have to buy the data center, you don't have to buy the resource. You can rent out the IaaS services and develop your application. And for example, if you develop application that support only 100 user, you can buy that space from infrastructure as a service provider. And later, if you find out that your application is really good and a lot of subscriber may be part of or may be going to download your application, you can request to IaaS service provider to increase your resources limit, and you got that resources that you have demanded, and you have to pay only that much. So that is also called the pay as you go, the pay as per your demand. And the example of infrastructure as a service are Amazon Web Service, we also call AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Compute Engine. And these providers maintain all the storage servers and networking hardware, and it may also offer load balancing, application firewalls, and a lot of features such as security, privacy. So all these things will be tackled by infrastructure as a service. So as application developer, you don't have to worry about security, you don't have to worry about the how you're gonna manage. If you have more than 1,000 users, you have to just rent out the resources and everything, the load balancing, firewalls, applications, all these will be handled by IaaS service providers. And many well-known software as a service providers, they run on infrastructure as a service platform, because again it is dependent on user, and none of the enterprises, none of the organization, they would like to put a lot of money just to buy the infrastructure, so they rent out. The cloud service model, that is also known as platform as a service, it serves as a web-based environment where developers can build the cloud application. So platform as a service, it provides the environment for the developers. Platform as a service, it provides the database, operating system, and programming language that user would like to use for designing the application. And that organization can use to develop cloud-based software without having to maintain the underlying element. And many infrastructure as a service vendors, they also offer platform as a service capabilities. So you are not just renting out infrastructure, but you also can rent out the environment, web-based environment, where the database will be provided, operating system will be provided, and the supporting programming language is also offered to the developer. And the last, software as a service, we also call SaaS. The most widely recognized type of cloud service, that is also known as software as a service, and that's broad category that has a variety of services such as file storage, backup, web-based email, project management tool, and many of the application which you have downloaded on your Android phone, on your smartphone. These all comes under the category of software as a service. For example, Dropbox, G Suite, Microsoft Office 365, Slack, Citrix, contain collaboration, PUBG, Amazon, Flipkart, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, and you just name it. Every application which are available on your smartphone, that's the software as a service product. In each of these applications, users can access, share, store, and secure information in the cloud. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.